Howdy folks, BC here. You're watching BC's Deuce and Guns. Lately, since it is the holiday season now in December of 2013, I've been thinking about some of the good gifts that I've gotten as a kid and of course as an adult too. But one of the best gifts I ever got, my dad got me way back in the 80s, and that was Megatron. Remember Megatron? That was a P38. It was the Transformer, it was the evil Transformer transformed into the gun. The legs, if you recall, the grip becomes the legs. There's the head in the back. Arms, I don't really want to disassemble all the way because I'm old now and I can't remember how to do it efficiently. But this one was something special. The barrel's kind of loose there. This was something special because it did something that most people's Megatrons would not do. Let me just show you here. Alright, actually let me get this. The barrel's kind of loose here. I got to tighten it up here. Okay, there we go. Pretty amazing, huh? Hope you guys didn't believe that. This is actually a real P38 versus the Megatron P38. A little bit difference in size. Let's take a look at them. Alrighty, this is actually a standard issue P38, nothing fancy. It is from 1960. Now they did do a changeover where they started calling them P1s, but this is actually, if you look at it right there, it does actually say P38 versus P1. Now this is not a wartime or pre-World War II model because it does have the aluminum frame. After the war, they changed from the steel frame to the aluminum frame, but for a couple of years, they did retain the P38 designation. Other than that, it's exactly the same as it always has been. And actually the P38 versus P1 magazines are interchangeable, so are many of the parts. Of course, it goes down as such. Let me just go ahead and lock it back. Take the takedown pin, turn that around, dry fire it, and you're done. There's your frame right there. And of course you have, what I love about this is the fact that it's got dual springs on either side and they're retained. You take that off, you take off the slide, the springs don't go flying across your living room or range, which is nice. Other than that, it's a very simple setup here. And I do like the fact that the whole thing just comes apart, and it's a bottom lug setup similar to the Beretta, very similar to the Beretta actually. Go ahead and put this back together here. And one interesting note is that at some point, I think this happened in the 80s or 90s, I'm not sure exactly when, the aluminum frame started to wear out. And as they wear out, there was a little place, you can kind of see it there, a little shiny area right there at my fingertip, where the aluminum would start wearing out because of the lug on the bottom of the barrel. Well, what the Germans did was they would drill a little hole through there and then inserted basically a steel rod through there for the actual action to work on versus the aluminum. So it's steel against steel versus steel against aluminum. And those are designated by the little hex lugs or hex bolts right there. Goes all the way through. It does not keep it from cracking like many people think it does. It is there for wear and tear on the inside against the lug. Okay, let's get shooting today with this P38 now. I've got a target 10 yards down range. Let me just spin you guys around so you can see that. Let me see, there we go, 10 yards out. Got my other camera down there, see if I can capture a little bit of a close-up without having to spin you guys around too often, or walk you down there like I have in previous videos. There we go. Let me go into manual mode there and focus in. There we go. I'm going to be doing some of my cast loads right there, cast 9mm loads, and then I will switch over to a commercial product. Ears on. I'm going to focus on the top target there. Not shot this too much. I believe it shoots a little bit to the left. Could be me, I'm not sure, but we'll find out. 8 rounds. That's the stock number in the magazine. Oh, got a misfire. Could have been a primer. Actually, it's shooting pretty good. Kind of. Alright, there's 8 rounds. Let's take a look at the target real quick. Again, that was with cast loads. Those are my cast loads that I use in competition, so they're right under 1100 feet per second, more like 1050. Alright, and we are safe. As you can see, there is a tumbling bullet situation here, which usually is due to a poor fit between the bullet and the bore of the barrel. I'll have to figure that out later, but you can tell that is actually a fairly accurate group, but it does favor the left-hand side. I'm not sure if that is from the pistol sights or my grip or my trigger pull. I'll have to figure that out later. It does have an actual long trigger. It's not that heavy, it's fairly light, but it is a long trigger in general. But also I'll have to just get this out to the range more often and see what's going on. Okay, now I've got my mag filled with PPU ammo, so that's completely factory ammo from Serbia. Brass case, very nice stuff. One thing I do want to mention is that the P38s, I would not, since they are an old design, I would hesitate to put anything but standard velocity, standard 9mm in here, no plus P, nothing crazy NATO, whatever. I would suggest just standard ammo. Okay, let me go ahead and put my ears on here. Now it's really cool, I wanted to show you this, is that there is a loaded chamber indicator. Let me just get that here. I'll have to go with the manual mode again. Okay, see there's a little pin there, right there at my fingertip that will protrude once I actually put a round in the chamber. Let me show you that. And you see there the pin, let me put it on my shirt here so you can see that little pin right there. The little pin protrudes, telling me that there's a round in the chamber now. Alright, so let's go back to autofocus. Alright, now this is factory ammo, 10 yards. Let's go take a look at that target. Okay, here's the factory ammo on the second target, and as you see, it actually shot low for me for some reason, and it also favored the left-hand side. I'm beginning to think it might be a sights issue, but again, I need to put some more rounds down the range. And I did notice that the very first round hit way low for some reason. I'm not sure, I guess that was me because it's yet to do that before, so I had to just not be paying attention. Okay guys, I pointed you over to the side here so I can show you the trigger on this, and while showing the trigger I can actually keep the barrel pointed down the range. Safety first always. Okay, and again, safety first always, I have the mag is out. I've already checked, there is no round in the chamber, and we're good to go. So go ahead and drop the slide, and I will show you first of all the double action trigger. There's a little bit of take up there. Let me get it up there a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, there's a little bit of take up there, and then it's a normal double action. A double action part of it is not that bad. It's not that stiff of a trigger actually. I don't know how many pounds that is, but it's not horrific at all. Now go ahead and pull the trigger back. Single action mode. There's still quite a bit of take up for some reason, which is weird because it's almost as much take up single action as it is double action. You'd think that would be eliminated by pulling the hammer back, but it does not. Okay, so you got that. It goes back to the stop, and it releases the hammer with an extremely low pull weight there. But there's still that good 1/4 inch or so of take up on the trigger before you get there. Interesting. Alrighty, well guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, I do put out a video every Wednesday. Guys, I hope you have a great day. See ya.